What's good, people? Welcome to another episode of She's Got Game here on the Zone. And joining us today, we have the Hoopfix All-Star Classic Under-19 Women's MVP, Cameron Taylor Willis. Cameron, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, how are you guys?
Yeah, we are not too bad. We're not too bad. Thank you for joining us.
No worries.
I should introduce. I was going to say my other guest, but he's not my guest. He's my co-host. my Kyrie to my Harden, James, Mr. J Extended. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. The first MVP on the show, so that's always great.
Honestly, you are the first MVP on the show, so congrats.
Thanks.
You can add that to your many lists of accolades.
Yeah.
Well, first, we're gonna get straight into it. Cameron, I want to start. So, obviously, how did you get into basketball? Did you watch basketball from a young age and saw someone and thought this is what I want to do? So, what's the background story?
Well, around year 5 and 6, my teacher actually played basketball, and she literally just set up a lunchtime club. And I was always sporty, I did athletics and swimming from a young age and stuff. So I just joined the basketball club because, it's just a lunchtime thing. And then she kind of kept the classes going, and then we moved to a high school to do it with a proper Ipswich basketball coach. From there, he picked me up and made me try out for Suffolk. So I tried out for Suffolk, and then I got in, and then I kind of just loved it. I loved it so much more than all the other sports I played. So I just kind of stuck with it, and then I found Ipswich, and that's kind of where it started.
What do you think stood out for you in terms of basketball? Because I know you said that you did swimming and athletics, but those are kind of normally you're by yourself when you're doing those kind of sports, whereas basketball is more of a team sport. So what stood out for you when it came to you playing basketball?
Well, as you said, individual sports, I felt there was so much pressure on me, especially at a young age. So kind of when I was in a team, it was so much better. The social was better. I feel like you made so much more friends, and just the adrenaline of basketball. It's such a quick game. Athletics is kind of done in a minute. Do you know what I mean? But basketball just kind of goes on, and the team aspect definitely kind of was what made it so special to me. Just being involved in a team, and I've known them since I was 11, and they're still my friends. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's really what helped me in basketball and made me love it.
Growing up, so obviously you said you started basketball from a pre-club. Did you watch a lot of basketball growing up?
I actually didn't know. My family wasn't really a big basketball fan. My dad's very much football and rugby and kind of stuff like that. So I never actually grew up watching it. And then obviously the more I started to play it, the more I started to get interested in it and kind of understand, other leagues and stuff like that. So no, I was never really into basketball, but being an 11-year-old who's already 6 foot, I think they just were come on, you need to play basketball. So
okay, so since you've grown in your basketball journey, what has stood out to you? What do you think's changed from when you was 11 to now?
Probably the work ethic. As soon as when I was 11, I was purely doing it for fun. Obviously I still do it for fun now, but when I joined an elite program like Ipswich Basketball Academy, I kind of had to step it up. So I think my mentality has definitely changed. I just kind of was very half-hearted when I was 11 to 13. I was just here to enjoy myself. But then when I started the academy at quite a young age, I was just right, let's work now kind of thing. So I definitely think the mentality of becoming an elite athlete, so to speak, definitely is the biggest change for me.
So when you tried out for Suffolk and Ipswich and stuff like that, so I played for Ipswich, what was the reason, but what stood out to you that you thought, Ipswich is where I want to play? Was it just because it was just a local elite one, or you thought this is where I want to be, this is where I could grow my basketball journey?
Well, I mean, like I said, I got picked up from a very young age from a coach from Ipswich, and then I started doing something called the Centre of Excellence, which is to do with Ipswich basketball, where Nick Drain, my coach now, led it, and I just loved him, and I loved the people that I just saw his players completely looked up to him. you know, it was like when he walked in the room, everyone would, you know, be quiet. Like he had such a presence as a coach, and you know, that for me just like solidified that I wanted to do basketball in Ipswich, because like he spoke to me from a very young age, like, you know, you could be kind of like quite good, so you need to kind of stick with it. And I've had him since I was 11 up till, you know, I'm 18 now, nearly 19. So I think definitely Nick kind of was what stood out to me. Obviously the people as well. Like I said, I have friends since I was 11 from now. So it was definitely just like the family kind of feel at Ipswich. Like it's very cliche, but it really is. So that's kind of what stood out to me.
What would you say are some of the sacrifices that you've had to take in your basketball journey so far?
Having a social life sometimes. You know, like missing, like I missed my prom, my year 11 prom, to go out to Macedonia to play in the European Championships. Like I had to sacrifice a lot of things that, you know, like not I've dreamt about, but like have excited me since such a young age. You know, like prom, like I brought my dress, and then I got selected, and I was like, oh, like sacrifices like that. But it's kind of what comes of it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just what it is. But I don't regret not, you know, going and playing for my country. It's just kind of what you have to do.
Do you have any, as you said, you look up to your coach and he's someone that has a presence in the room. Do you have like any other basketball icons in your life or basketball people you look up to?
God, I don't really know, to be honest. Like any older girls, you know, like Harriet Weller, Maya Price, all the people that have gone through Ipswich and now are on their next journey. I think like I just look up to them because they've, you know, again been at Ipswich at a young age and kind of got through it, and you know have progressed like loads. You know, they are definitely idols, 100%. So probably them.
What would you say is the hardest thing about practice?
The hardest, probably, I mean, it takes a massive toll on your body, like physically. You know, after some pre-season practices, I'm like limping home, and then we go again tomorrow. So definitely like physical stuff, but mentally it's hard. You know, if you're doing a drill that you just, you know, if you're doing layups and stuff, like different kind of moves, and you just can't get it right. Mentally, it's so frustrating. But that's kind of just basketball, isn't it? And any sport, you know, if you can't do something, you're going to get annoyed. But I don't know, probably I'd say more physical, because it is like so tiring, you know, after game day, like on Saturdays. On Sunday, I will have no plans because I just need to like relax and sleep. Yeah. So probably more physical stuff than mental.
What was it like being the youngest participant in under 19 women's game?
What, in the last one or this one?
Yeah, no, the last one.
To be fair, I didn't expect to get picked at all on the year with Holly and Lauren and all that lot. And yeah, I was by far the youngest. So, I mean, it felt really cool to be picked and to play with, you know, the big names like Esther. Obviously, I know she's a teammate, but Holly, Lauren, all of them, like it was actually a privilege just to actually share the court with them. So, you know, being the youngest I just took it as a massive like opportunity, and I kind of just went on and just was like, I'm the youngest, whatever, you know, let's just kind of do what I can do. So I think it was definitely a massive privilege to be able to play with older and a lot more experienced and better players than me.
What would you say you learnt from playing in those kind of games with those kind of names the most?
Probably just like how poised they are on court. You know, like if you watch Holly, like she probably has so much pressure. You know, it's Holly Winterburn, blah blah, and she, you know, has such a big name for herself. But when she just comes out, she just plays, and it's like almost like she just forgets about all the pressure, about all the social media like hype about watching her and stuff. And I think that's a massive thing. Like, you know, being such high profile players, you kind of in the game you just have to forget about all of that. You know, what's not going up on Instagram like after the game, like it's just the game, and you've got to kind of be chill and, you know, just enjoy yourself, because I think, you know, pressure can get to people, and it has. So I think just looking up to them lot, you know, just playing the game because they love it, instead of, you know, doing it for the social media kind of side.
What's been your favorite achievement so far, basketball wise?
It's really hard. Probably this season when our women's team won playoffs and the league. You know, we said it from the start of the year. Like, no one's ever done both in our league, so like let's be the first to do it. And we said it from day one, and we did it. And especially through COVID and everything that went on in that season, it was just like amazing to come out with what we wanted in the start. I think that's the biggest achievement for me, easily.
What was it like being an athlete during COVID? Like, how do you stay focused? How do you kind of stay in shape while everything's happening? You can't go out and play.
Yeah, I mean, it was really tough, to be fair. Like, especially the first lockdown when everyone was like, it's going to be 3 weeks, and like 6 months later, we're still in it. But I kind of, like, when practicing like started coming back, and you know, our coaches were like, right, you need to, you know, get fit again because we're going to be training soon and stuff. Like, if that's the motivation in itself, like if you're sat at home doing nothing for 3 weeks, like just hearing that you can actually get on the court and be able to see people, especially like your teammates, it's motivation enough. Like, I was going on runs in COVID and trying to stay fit. Obviously I wasn't as fit as I'd normally be through training every day, but just the motivation of hearing you can actually play again is just like, that's enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's when everyone was like, right, let's actually, probably need to get fit and stuff now. So
obviously, you coming off the amazing season you guys had, what's next for Cameron?
What's next? Well, I mean, obviously I was committed to Eckerd College, but now I've decided not to go because I need to just take a year to decide what I actually want with my basketball career and what I want to do in the future. So I've decided to stay at Ipswich and just stay local. And we have a lot of young people, like Esther, Ella, all go off and go to their states and colleges. So we have a lot of young people. We have obviously Susanna, who's coming through, and I think just to build on, we can't say to the younger ones like, right, we've got to win both again, because it's not going to be like that, because our team is very different this year. But I think just it'll be a challenge to get them ready for the level they want to play at. So especially I'll be an older one and more experienced there. So I think it'll be nice to just take on some leadership. And like me and Nick have said, it's going to be a challenge working with them all. But I think it'll be a great challenge instead of just being like win, win, win. Let's get better instead, So I think that's what's next.
After a really high, like being in the Hoopfix game or winning the playoffs, how do you calm down after that?
I mean, some people deal with it very differently. Like, I'm still on a high from Hoopsfix. It was Saturday. Like, it was mad. Like, I've never experienced anything quite like it. Sometimes people just go like emotionally drained. Like, some people just go tired. I think it will hit me. So I'm sleeping all the time. But I kind of just, it just gets you happy. Just winning stuff and being on such a high. Like, obviously you're gonna be at a low because preseason definitely, off season and preseason definitely isn't my favorite. So I think I've just got to be mentally prepared for kind of what's next. But I am looking forward to have a summer. It's just like a break kind of thing, because it was a very long 10 months of basketball. So I think I'm just kind of dealing with it. We're just having my social life and just chilling out, really.
As you said, rest and recovery is very important, as you can tell. So when you said you verbally committed to Eckerd College, now you want to stay at Ipswich for this season, do you feel like going off to the States, is that still somewhere in the near future, or right now you just want to focus on Ipswich and see what happens?
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I've stayed for like many personal reasons and stuff, but like I've never kind of been the person to rule anything out. I did commit, and it was probably a mistake. I was very, very probably a rush decision. But because I've decided to stay this year, I have a plan for this year, and I'm gonna just look around, like see, because obviously I'm younger compared to everyone else. Everyone puts me in the same age as Ella and Esther, but I am actually the year below. So, and everyone I know have stayed a third year at their sixth form or whatever, because they need that year to figure it out. So I think I'm just going to take this year as it comes and see how seriously I want to take my basketball, because I need to take it seriously if I'm going to the States. And that's why I realised I didn't actually want to do that. So I think this year has just got to be me figuring out if I want to, stay at an English uni and play WBBL, or, go to an American college and really pursue my basketball career and go pro maybe. But I think that's why this year is definitely, I've got a lot of figuring out to do, you know. So I think just one step as it comes and kind of see what this year brings.
Do you like to play a lot of pickup games during when you're not in the season, like just going to a park, playing against different people, or do you more prefer like just doing practices like by yourself?
I mean, I don't really do pickup games as such, but we all still scrimmage. There's kind of the boys come and scrimmage with us. Like, you know, we have people like much older, like people coming back from, you know, like they've been in America all year and they're coming back and they're going to, you know, scrimmage with us. So I love doing stuff like that, but I don't think I've ever gone to a park and be like, right, let's play this. Like, it's kind of, I just kind of stick to the people I know, I guess, but people I haven't played with in such a long time, or even I've never played with. You know, we have some people like I've scrimmaged with, like Sam Newman, like Luke Maskell, right? People like that just come in and be like, right, let's play. You know, if you're there, you're playing, kind of thing. So, I mean, I love doing stuff like that, but also in the off season, like you've got to get better individually as well. Like just playing isn't gonna do it. So I do like individual workouts and stuff like that as well. So.
As you said, you're going to take a leadership role into like Ipswich next year. As now you're one of the older one. What do you think is going to be the biggest transition? Like, is your game going to change in a sense, or is it just more of a mental thing where you're going to have to mentally be, all right, I'm not the youngest anymore. I'm going to have to lead these girls into what we want to do.
I think it's probably a little bit of both. Like as a player, like on the basketball court, like I don't really change what I do if I'm with different like girls who I'm playing with. So I think I'll just stick to like what I do best. But definitely mentally, you know, obviously Harriet was captain this year, and she's literally like having Nick on court with us. So you know, if you know, we literally look to her at everything, and for me to be kind of taking her role on, I suppose, is going to be definitely different, you know, because she'll get us in a huddle, she'll talk to us. Like I've now got to take on those duties. So I think mentally it'll be hard, you know, to being kind of everyone's shoulder to lean on and stuff like that. But like, it's actually really exciting. Like, you know, Nick always has said, like, I'm quite a natural leader. So I think it won't be as hard as I think it will, because, you know, naturally I kind of do it, I suppose. But definitely like, keeping everyone's motivation up when I'm down maybe is definitely going to be a struggle, because you know Harriet is the best at that. You know, if she's having a bad game and we all having a bad game, she's still like, right, let's go. I think that is probably the hardest thing that I'm going to find the hardest to do, is keep everyone up when I'm down as well. But I think that's just mentally tough, so I'm just going to have to learn that, I suppose. The hard way.
What would you say is the comfiest shoe you've played in?
I think PG ones. I still wear them to this day, and I love them. I definitely think I you know, they're just plain black, but you know, they're not very fancy, but they are definitely the comfiest ones ever. They're ruined now, but I still wear them because they're literally like slippers. So yeah, probably them.
PG ones. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Are you a proper sneakerhead? Would you call yourself like a PJ Tucker, where you want to collect all these trainers, or is it just a couple?
No, I'm not. I just go with what's pretty, really. I just look at kind of what looks cool, and I just buy them. I'm honestly know nothing. I couldn't even tell you what half of my boots are, which is probably really bad. But I just buy the ones that look cool, to be honest.
That's true. No, that's good though. At least you're using them for their proper purpose. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, no, I get that. All right, we're gonna do some quick fire questions. So like, it's gonna be, I'm gonna tell you, for instance, football, basketball, and you'll say
basketball.
There you go. So
right.
All right, we'll do Ipswich or Norwich.
Ipswich. Obviously.
James, should we do one each, James, or do you want me to do?
You can do some and then I'll do some.
Okay, cool. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation. I honestly don't know, to be honest.
That was the right answer.
That was the right
answer. Was that good?
We'll take that.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll take that.
Okay.
MJ or LeBron?
MJ probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Nando's or KFC?
Nando's.
You can't go wrong with Nando's.
Yeah, that was kind of
Then
easy.
you can't go wrong with KFC as well.
I don't know.
You can go wrong with KFC. You can definitely go wrong with KFC.
Yeah. I feel
No,
like
sometimes you need a decent KFC.
I've had some horrific KFCs in my time.
I don't know what your KFCs you're going to.
PTSD. PTSD. I'm going to the wrong ones. That's the answer.
Yeah, clearly. I'll do one more. Apple Music or Spotify?
I'm Apple Music, which is
Oh.
yeah, I know. So much hate, but they do the job. That's fine.
So close. We're so close.
I know. Sorry, put it down.
All right, James, you do yours.
Okay. What's your Nando's order?
My Nando's order. I normally get a butterfly chicken, medium, spice. Peri salted
we
chips.
can do a medium.
Yeah, okay. Peri salted chips and garlic bread normally. That's normally what I go for.
Oh yeah. That's
Okay.
not
Is that all right?
Yeah.
You're one of them people that get like coleslaw and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not that kind of person. Definitely not.
If I'm going Nando's, why am I getting coleslaw? There's coleslaw at home. Never understood that.
What's the most amount of suicides you've ever done?
So I don't know, to be honest, but we did pyramids up to 10 and back down. So that took about an hour. So probably that was the whole time I did that for. Yeah.
Do you prefer training inside or outside?
Inside.
What's your favorite song at the moment?
Probably Paradise by Her.
What's your favorite song to listen to before a game, or like your playlist before a game?
I don't know. On the bus, we normally play. We try to play Drake to get in the mood. I don't know if I have a particular song. We play Child's Play a lot before we walk in the gym. But yeah, probably Child's Play. That's what we normally play.
Yeah. That's the one with Isn't that the one with the opening? Is like breaking news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Are you gonna, since you're gonna take on the captain's role, like the leadership role, are you gonna have control of the orcs?
I always control.
You've got to.
I'm the DJ of the bus. I've always had that job.
So even when you came in as a youngster, you were the DJ of the bus.
Yeah, have the best.
No.
What can I say?
I rate that.
What's your favorite movie?
Movie? Oh, that's hard. Oh god, I don't know actually. I did just watch The Conjuring, the new one, and that was really, really good. I do really like horror films, but then I do love Disney. Like The Lion King, you can't go wrong with.
Yeah, can't go wrong with Lion King. Great film.
Two extremes, but
Do you watch reality TV?
Lion King.
Do you watch reality TV like Love Island and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do.
No, listen, there's nothing wrong with it. We all love Love Island. Do you know what I mean? We all love it.
Love it.
I can't wait to hear. I've got a text. I can't wait.
If you wasn't playing basketball, what would you be doing?
As in another sport or just generally?
Both.
I think this is really controversial. If I wasn't doing basketball, I'd probably be doing netball. Yeah, I know. Because I don't really know. I really like netball. And if I wasn't playing sport at all, I have no idea really. I don't know if I have any other talents really. I don't know.
Ball is life.
School, I guess.
What does it feel like when you block someone's shot? Because you had a few the other day, so what does it feel like?
Yeah, you attached to them.
And I did have them on my like really good friend Susanna, who always blocks me in training.
Yeah.
It's very much the other way around. I love, you've got to get a nice block in. It's a great feeling. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just sick. Like especially when your other teammates gas you up. Like that's the best.
Are you a trash talker on the court?
No, I couldn't be anything worse. I honestly wouldn't know what to say if I tried to. But, yesterday we played Itchin and everyone was trying overrated, and I just can't help but laugh. Like I don't know what to do. Like I can't say anything back. So like I just kind of sit there and like, okay, guys, that's fine. That's right. Whatever. So no, I'm not a trash talker at all. But if someone, like, when we've played other teams, people trash talk other people, then I'll get involved. But if it's to do with me, I just let it happen.
Right, but let's say, just if scenario, the person's guarding you, you're dropping crazy numbers right now. You're dropping like 40, 12 and whatever.
Okay.
And you're dropping crazy numbers. You're not gonna do a little cheeky, like she can't guard me or any of that at all.
No, I just don't do that. Like,
you just
it's,
continue playing.
normally Esther saying it to the girl, for me. Esther's kind of if people, Haz is dropping 40, which is a regular thing, we just kind of let her get on with it now, because it's like no one can guard her, but everyone knows that. Even the person that's guarding her knows that. So I think, like yesterday with the boys' game, like no one could guard Moyo, and we were all, chanting, no, like you can't guard him. Like if it's anyone else, I would, but with me, I just kind of just get on with it, really.
But Cameron, thank you so much for joining us. I thought this was good. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. That's good. As long as you did. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there, guys. You can like, share, subscribe. Share, subscribe. I always get this wrong. You can like, share, subscribe. What we'll do, we'll put your socials on here as well, so that people can follow your journey as well. You can follow us on Twitter at the.zoneldn, on Instagram at the.zone_ldn. Thank you guys for watching another episode of She's Got Game. We'll put Cameron's socials on the link down below, or just in the description. You can follow us at the.zoneldn on Twitter, at the.zone_ldn on Instagram. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, people.